I'm pretty sure you got my text, Nate, but thank you. I did get the jersey on, well, I don't know what day. It might have got here on Friday. I got it on Saturday because I live in one of those neighborhoods. They have a community mailbox that I have to walk halfway around the block to get to, so I only check the mail like once a week. But anyway, I got it. And it's amazing and fantastic. What's up, Colby? What's up, Michael? What's up, Matt? Yeah, happy Monday. Another week. What's up, Jay? Man. Did I get the wedding invitation? No, not yet. When'd you send it? If it was less than a week ago, then no, because the local USPS service around here is slow as shit. If I try to send something 20 minutes away from my house, it takes 5 days. So I'll probably get it any day now, Colby, if you sent it a week ago. I'll let you know when I get it. I'm gonna go check the mail this afternoon after the show, so I'll let you know if it's in there. Also, we're trying to figure out what to buy off your wedding registry for you, but I guess you said there was a QR code on the back of the this. Well, is it on the back of the invitation? If that's true, we haven't got the invitation yet, so I guess I'll wait to get the invitation then. Is that where you did it? What's up, Lawn Tractor for Life? Or Lawn Tractor Life, rather. I wonder what your favorite type of lawn tractor. Is it a John Deere? Is it a Kubota? Is it something else? Are you a deer man? I used to have a Cub Cadet at my old house. Because I had a much bigger yard than I have here. Cub Cadet, yeah, that's what I had. That's what I used to have. When we moved into this house, I sold it to one of my buddies because he had a bigger yard. I don't need a riding lawnmower for my lawn anymore. It takes me 20 minutes to mow it. On the back of the save the date, well, I'll go ahead and tell you right now, I have no idea where to save the date thing's at. Mrs. Peete probably put it somewhere, and she's not the most organized person when it comes to that kind of thing, so I don't know. Is there any way that you can, like, text me the QR code, or hell, I don't know, that wouldn't work, would it? Can you send me the QR code somehow so I can look at it? What's up, Gump Man? Anyway, Yeah, going into week 13 of the college football season, some crazy games this past weekend. Of course, this week is kind of half the country plays middle schools leading into rivalry week. I've got some thoughts about rivalry week. I've got some thoughts about the Gamecock fan base.
Open your eyes, owner. Please, wake up. That's boy.
And some of the thoughts on this week's games. Oh, and before I forget about this, you know what? I'm pretty sure that RFK Jr. might be right about fluoride making people dumb. All you got to do is go on Twitter. You'll find that out real quick. I posted on there yesterday that I think that game day should go to Clemson for the Clemson versus South Carolina game. Now, on the surface, you say, well, probably Clemson's not making the ACC championship or the playoffs, and probably South Carolina's not going to get in the playoffs. Well, those are two probablys. Both those things are still possible. But everyone's saying no. They're going to go to Texas A&M. It's Texas A&M in Texas. They haven't played in forever. I understand that. Game day's already been to College Station. Now, that doesn't mean that they won't go again. And I wouldn't be mad at it if they did. But outside of Texas and Texas A&M, if they don't want to go to the same place twice in one season, who else is there? What's the next best game? Well, if you look at all the other big rivalry games, Michigan and Ohio State, no, Michigan's terrible. Florida and Florida State, no, they're both terrible. Or Florida State's definitely terrible. Georgia and Georgia Tech, no, Georgia Tech's unranked. And they've already been to Georgia this week. Is there any other ranked matchups? Clemson and South Carolina will both be ranked in the top 20 going into rivalry week. Yeah, Texas has already had game day too. Yeah, exactly. Well, the game's in College Station, but they went to College Station week 1, right, with Notre Dame. So I can't think of any other matchups between top 20 teams that are rivals. So am I crazy for saying that? People act like I'm crazy for saying that.
Jimmy, listen.
Oh, I wouldn't be surprised if they did go to Clemson.
I know about all of it, okay? I just need one promise from you, all right? Just one. Promise me you'll never drink alcohol.
No.
Until you're 21.
Oh.
Okay?
Okay.
Cool, yeah.
Sure. The hell is that? Also, I'm done complimenting the Gamecocks this season because they don't know how to take a compliment. They're immune to it. So I'm just not going to do it anymore. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna do the opposite. I'm gonna go full offensive on them. Fuck the Gamecocks. You're still gonna get. I don't care who you beat in the SEC. I don't care what your record is. I don't care what everybody thinks. Clemson's gonna beat the absolute shit out of you on November the 30th in Death Valley. Embarrass you. Send you back to Columbia with a big fat L, like you do almost every single year against Clemson. All I do is sit around all season and compliment them. Hell, I was even higher on the Gamecocks than some of their own fans 3 or 4 weeks ago. But no, they can't take it. Then they, not only can they not take it, then they start making up dumb shit. Well, Lenora Sellers is 10 times better quarterback than Cade Klubnik. Oh, really? 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 All right, here we go. Let's look at Lenora Sellers' stats for the 2024 season. 1,800 yards, 14 touchdowns, and 5 interceptions with a 65.6 QBR. Okay? All right, let's look at Cade Klubnik's. 2,500 yards, 26 touchdowns, and 4 interceptions with a 76.9 QBR. That's not even close. Yeah, Sellers had a great game this past weekend. 5 touchdowns or whatever. That's great. That's one game. But Pete, SEC, Pete. It's the SEC. Oh, shit. Squan Man says game day will be at Clemson. Print that, tweet that. Yeah. Where is it at? I can never find stuff on my OBS when I'm looking for it. Might need to do some. The problem is I never want to delete anything because then, you know, 3 months down the line, I want to play a stinger or show a video or something that I have saved on here, and then I've deleted it because I have too many of them. So I don't like deleting things, but it does make it a pain in the ass when I'm trying to find something. Like 40 fucking things on here. Anyway, whatever. Professional. What's up, Hoghead? Spank Mapleton. Klubnik's playing. See there, here we go. Playing against a bunch of dead bodies. But never mind the fact that before the season, you guys were all telling me that Klubnik was a terrible quarterback, and you know he was going to have. He's going to win 7 games and get benched and fucking transfer or whatever. He's going to be one of the worst quarterbacks in the country. Yeah, well, right now, 26 touchdowns. I think that's 4th or 5th in the country in touchdown passes. And only 4 interceptions. So, I guess he's terrible. I don't know. Jackpot can't take a compliment. Yeah, it got to the point where I won't even go on when he's live streaming a Gamecock game. Sometimes, I'll watch it, but I don't usually go in the comment section because just my presence of just being in there, especially if they're losing, just him seeing my name in the chat makes him mad. You know. So I don't want to make him mad. Two weeks to recover from injuries while second string puts a hurting on the Citadel. Yeah, we need, we need some healing up. You're right. Well, look, all the teams have injuries. It's week 13. I get that. But yeah, Clemson's got some injuries at some key positions that they need. They need those guys back big time against South Carolina, for sure. All right, we'll get to the StreamYard in just a minute. Let's take a look at some of these games. Let me turn this music off. Let's take a look at some of these games this week. Of course, we'll go over all these betting lines and stuff tonight on the Lunch Money Show, like we do every Monday night. All right, here we go. So I'm not going to be making my picks on this show, but just look at some of the matchups. Like I said, most of them, or at least half of the country, is playing nobodies because it's the week before rivalry week. But there are some decent ones here and some interesting ones. Alabama at Oklahoma. Alabama 14-point favorite on the road against the Sooners. I have to think a little bit more about that one, but that is at least an interesting game. I mean, obviously, I think Alabama's going to win. Vanderbilt and LSU, I really like. This is an interesting game. It's also a prime time game, 7:45. So it's a night game, another night game in Death Valley. Has every game in LSU been a night game this year? I think it has. Am I wrong? I might be missing one, but I feel like every game in LSU this season has been a night game. Of course, LSU coming off of 2 straight losses, a blowout loss to Alabama, and then they lost to Florida on Saturday. Obviously, Vanderbilt is not a pushover this year like they normally are. So this is an interesting one here. Vanderbilt, 8.5-point dog. I definitely have thoughts on that tonight. UCLA wasn't. Okay, so they had one home game that was during the daytime. Out of, what, 6? Because I don't know. When they played week 1 against Southern Cal, that was a neutral site game, right? I think it was. Goose Sport says take Vandy. Well, I agree with you. That's all I'm going to say about that. I agree with you. Army and Notre Dame. Everyone's been talking about this game all year. Of course, Notre Dame is on an absolute heater, destroying everybody. You know what's funny? Speaking of jackpot, that was one of my picks last week on the Lunch Money Show, was for Virginia to go to Notre Dame and cover the 22 points. Right. Of course, most of the Notre Dame fans told me I was crazy. They were going to beat them by 40. I'm just being an ACC homer because Clemson played Virginia. All these excuses. And I said specifically, you can go back and listen to it on the Lunch Money Show. I said, I think that Notre Dame is definitely 30 points better or more than Virginia. I said, but here's the thing. They're going to get out to a big lead, and then Virginia is going to score a trash touchdown or 2 late in the game to do a backdoor cover. That's exactly what happened. It was 35-7. Virginia scores a touchdown with like less than a minute left to cover. So shout out to Virginia. But anyway, I was watching the Carolina Jackpot stream, and that was during the South Carolina game he was streaming was during the same time as the Virginia and the Notre Dame game. And somebody in the chat said something about, this is when Notre Dame was up big, big time. And he's like, yeah, Huffer Billy Paul's dumbass said that Virginia would cover. I don't know what the hell his dumbass is thinking. Of course, Virginia's not going to cover against Notre Dame. ACC sucks, blah, blah, blah. Then they covered. I said, God damn. Casket. The sad part is Notre Dame didn't play that well. Yeah, I mean, look. They're favored by 2 touchdowns over Army. Obviously, Army's undefeated, but this will be the best team they've played by a long shot. The game's in South Bend. Can Army keep it interesting? I don't know. I tend to lean Notre Dame. If it were closer to 17 or 20 or 21, I think I definitely would take Army to cover that. But 14 seems very doable for Notre Dame. This is a very important game for Notre Dame, too, because they've got to play Army this week, then they got to play Southern Cal next week. Now, they'll probably beat Southern Cal anyway. That's not the point. But they really can't afford to be losing another game. I mean, they might be able to, but if you lose at home twice, if you lose to NIU at home, and then you lose to Army at home, you're going to be on the bubble as far as the playoffs are concerned. So, they're playing at Yankee Stadium. Oh, okay. Well, they have Notre Dame listed as the home team here. Why would Notre Dame take a home game to Yankee Stadium? I thought that was what the service academies did if they didn't want to play at home. Unless they just had... Who is this supposed to be a home game for? Who's getting charged with the home games? Is it Notre Dame or Army? Anyway, I don't really think that matters, honestly. Notre Dame played Navy in Yankee Stadium and beat them by 50. Now, Army's better than Navy. I know that, but yeah, looks like Notre Dame to me, too. I don't know why Notre Dame would do that, but they did. What else we got here? A couple more games we'll talk about, then I'll get on the StreamYard here. Let's see here. Pittsburgh and Louisville. Well, that would have been an interesting game a few weeks ago. Now, Pittsburgh on a 3-game losing streak, and Louisville's out of it, too, so it doesn't really mean much for the ACC. What's wrong with you? Huh? What's your problem? Cat's walking around here mad. You hear? What's your problem? Stanford at Cal. This means nothing for anybody or the ACC. But this might have been one of the funniest upsets of last week. Cal was favored by 10 points at home against Syracuse last week, and Syracuse went in there and beat the shit out of them. So 10-point favorite at home, and they got their ass whipped by Syracuse. That was something there. Boy, Michigan's only a 12-point favorite over Northwestern? Boy. BYU, an underdog to Arizona State. Don't look now. Don't look now, but Arizona State, they're like 8-2, aren't they? I think they are. They got to still be in the hunt then for the champion. That's a big game for Arizona State. They can still win the Big 12 and go to the playoffs. That's insane. I mean, nobody's been talking about them all year. I really like this one here. Kentucky and Texas should beat the shit out of Kentucky. We'll see. That's a lot of points, though, 20.5. Colorado at Kansas. Kansas coming off a win at BYU. And Colorado only favored by 2.5 on the road at Kansas. That's interesting. I'm going to have to look into that. Is Travis Hunter hurt? Is Shedeur Sanders hurt? Is Horn hurt? I mean, who's hurt for that line to be 2.5? Unless they're just giving that much respect to Kansas. That's one of those lines that looks so crazy to me that I probably should stay away from it. Because usually when it looks crazy to me, that's just, yeah. Like I thought the South Carolina line was crazy against Missouri. Well, I was wrong about that. I think that's about it for the interesting ones here. But Wake Forest and Miami 24-point favorite. Oh, here we go. This is a good one here. These are the two best games of the week. And they're both at noon. The two best games of the week are at noon. Ah, damn. Well, this is definitely the best game of the week. Indiana and Ohio State. That's the one everyone's going to be looking for. The Fox has completely screwed the pooch with the big noon kickoff deal. This should be a night game. Is Fox the worst college football game scheduling broadcaster? They've got to be, right? They put all their best games on at 12 o'clock in the afternoon. I don't know what the thinking behind. I guess the thinking what they're doing is they're saying, well, we're going to monopolize the market because they put most noon games on that nobody cares about, and all the good games are at night, or at 3:30, or in prime time. So we're going to outsmart them and put the best game in the Big Ten every week at noon, so that we can compete. So we can blow all the other. We can get most viewership compared to all the other 12 o'clock games. The problem is, you're more likely, even if there's another good game on at night, you're going to get more viewers at 8 o'clock than you are at noon. That's period. So whoever's in charge over there of doing this needs to be fired immediately. And then they need to call and hire me, and I can tell them what to do. I'll do it for half the price of whatever the person who's doing it is. There, that's it. Anyway, we'll talk about those tonight. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning. What would that title be for Fox Sports? Fox Sports channel lineup guy? Fox Sports game lineup guy?
Programmer? I don't know what the hell their title is.
Programmer. That would be
programmer.
Good. Yeah, game programmer. Fox Sports game programmer. That's a good title for you, Pete.
I don't know if you've seen it, Pete, but those that wave the SEC banner on Twitter have hit a whole new level of stupidity.
Sorry, what'd you say?
I said those that wave the SEC banner on Twitter have hit new levels of stupidity.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody seriously made an argument that a 3-loss SEC team deserves to be in over a 1-loss Indiana or BYU.
Yeah. Was it Clay Travis?
Well, he's among them, but yes.
Yeah, he's a dumbass. When it comes to sports, he's a dumbass. He just is. First of all,
I'm pulling for Auburn in the season against Alabama because the way it looks now, Georgia's not going to be in the SEC championship. It'll be Texas and Bama.
Auburn can completely reshape the playoff bracket over the next 2 weeks.
They could,
Absolutely.
yeah.
They certainly could.
Yeah, they're the only team that plays 2 of them that are still in the hunt.
Yep.
And what Alabama has 2 losses right now. If they go to the SEC championship game against Texas or Texas A&M, that's 3 losses.
Yeah, if they get 3 losses, then they're out. Then Texas and Georgia play in the SEC championship.
Yeah, the SEC is going to come down to rivalry weekend, I think.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. And well, the ACC definitely is because obviously, I think Miami is going to win this week big against Wake Forest. Clemson's obviously going to beat the Citadel, and SMU is going to beat whatever high school team they're playing.
Well, who is SMU's rival?
That's a good question. I have no idea. I don't even know if they have one.
Right. And I bet they're out of conference too, so it doesn't really matter with conference play.
Yeah, right.
Well, and Clemson's done with conference play. So basically, Clemson's hate watching Miami for the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's really the scenario. Somebody took the time to write out all the scenarios that have to happen for Clemson to make the ACC championship. And the only one that's even remotely likely, because the other one involves all kinds of different shit, is that Miami loses to Syracuse. That's pretty much it. I mean, there's another way, too. They would have to have SMU lose this week. They would have to have several other teams in the ACC also lose as far as common opponents go. So, I don't.
And listen, SMU losing is not out of the realm of possibility. They faltered several times during the season.
Yeah, there was a guy left a comment on my video that I uploaded yesterday, and was like, Pete, it doesn't matter if Clemson does make it to the ACC championship. They're going to lose by 30 points to SMU, or they're going to lose bad to SMU. I'm like, hold on now. Let's not pretend that SMU had to go to overtime with Nevada and should have lost to Duke. Let's not pretend that SMU is fucking Oregon.
40-point game Saturday until 8 seconds left on the clock.
Yeah, it was a very close game, Slim.
So,
your biggest rivalry right now, Pete, is going to be South Carolina, even though you're playing them at home.
Yeah, that doesn't mean anything for the ACC, but yeah, that's a huge game. It's a huge game every year, but it's even more important this year.
And as a Georgia fan, maybe Scott can concur. I'm kind of glad we're not playing South Carolina.
Damn right. Damn right. I'm very happy.
Yeah, see, the problem.
If you look at South Carolina's schedule, they've only had one blowout loss, and that was Ole Miss. I think it was 27-3. But all the others were close as hell.
Yeah, they got screwed by the refs. They should have beat LSU. Should have beat LSU. The refs screwed them on that one. And then they came down to the wire with Alabama on the road.
Right. So I mean, they have played lights out football this year, despite that they probably don't have all the weapons that a lot of like Georgia and Alabama have. But that game actually Saturday afternoon was inspiring. they played their hearts out against Missouri.
I'm extremely interested to see what the line on Clemson and South Carolina is going to be.
Yeah, I would. Yeah,
where's it at, Pete?
It's in Clemson.
It'd be tighter than Dick's hat band. I'll tell you that.
Oh man,
I'll give South Carolina credit, but they tried their damnedest to fuck up that game with Missouri.
Yeah, you know what that is? I mean, there's nothing scientific about this, but every team has that one team. Like for Miami, Georgia, for some reason, they have a problem with Georgia Tech every year, even though they're better than Georgia Tech. Clemson with Pitt. Anytime we play Pitt, it's always a close game. And for them, it's Missouri. They always struggle against Missouri. South Carolina does.
Well, they won that game in the last minute of that game. I mean, they drove down and scored a touchdown in nearly the last minute of the game. I was like, holy crap.
Yeah, that was a crazy game. But like I said at the top of the show, I'm done complimenting South Carolina. So you just heard your last one from me until after the game.
Well, I never liked South Carolina when Steve Spurrier was their coach. I detested South Carolina because the Gamecock fans were just such assholes during that period of time.
They can't handle a little bit of success, and it's not even like it's major success. They still have 3 losses. But do they have a good team? Yes. Are they playing as good as anybody else in the SEC right now? Yes. But they act like this. Every time this happens, every 3 or 4 years, they'll have a 9-win season, and then all of a sudden, oh my God, we turned the corner. Everybody else, watch out, Clemson! You're about to take a back seat in the state to South Carolina. But it never works out.
Yeah, they always have nothing.
Well,
for it.
Okay. Now that being said, Pete, Beamer has the second most top 25 wins of any coach in the SEC.
Yeah, I know.
But nothing to show for it. You can go to the Outback Bowl if you want
Yeah,
to.
see, they're not even going to make the SEC championship game.
Or the playoffs.
There's still a possibility they can make the playoffs with 3 losses. It's not likely.
Carolina?
It's not likely, but it's possible.
Pete.
See, I think the only 3-loss team that gets in is if you have somehow a 3-loss team makes a conference title game and upsets and wins it. I think that's the only way that happens.
So if they beat Clemson in Clemson, that'll be an impressive win against another ranked team, top 20 team, to add to their resume. And if the committee does what they're supposed to do and they go and look at their losses, they'll say, well, the LSU game, we could probably even give that to South Carolina. So the committee could possibly view them as a 2-loss team and not a 3-loss team.
Well, so how many SEC teams do you think get in then?
I'm thinking 4.
Tennessee, Ole Miss, and Texas.
3.
Well, hold on now. Who does Ole Miss play this week? Is that Florida?
Yeah, at Florida.
That's not a gimme.
It's not? No, it's not.
It's not a gimme. So...
No, Lagway looked pretty damn good Saturday.
Florida is definitely...
I think the only 3-loss team that could possibly get in is Alabama when they play in the SEC championship game against Texas or Texas A&M.
So let's say tonight.
But wait.
Or tomorrow night.
If Alabama is a 3-loss team and Georgia's only a 2-loss team, which by all means, I think they're only going to have 2 losses this season, then it would be Georgia and Texas back again in the SEC.
No, because
how do you feel that? How do you take an Alabama that's a 3-loss team and Georgia's only a 2-loss team, and you put Alabama ahead of Georgia?
It's something about the tiebreaker, Scott. I mean, there's.
Are you talking about for the SEC title game, or are you talking about for the playoffs? Because
I'm talking about a championship, the SEC championship.
Yeah, if Alabama loses another SEC game, they're not making the SEC title game.
No.
I think he's saying if Alabama loses the SEC title game, which would give them the 3rd loss.
Yes. Exactly.
Oh, okay.
No,
all right.
I got you. Team should make the playoff.
Okay, my bad.
I think that both of the teams that play in the SEC championship will make the playoffs, regardless of record.
I don't know, man.
Even with 3 losses,
you got a hard time trying to convince me they're going to put in a 3-loss team that lost its conference championship.
You have a hard time trying to convince me that the committee's not going to think that the two best teams in the SEC, the two teams that play for the championship, aren't in the top 12.
Yeah, I'm with you there.
It's a good point, but people have seen in the past, just like last year, you get slapped in the face because you lose your SEC championship game.
Yeah. I don't know.
Well, okay. I mean, to that point, though, and this kind of goes against my point, they put in 3 teams in a 14 playoff that lost a conference title game.
Yeah.
Including Georgia.
Right. That's my, you're proving my point.
Yeah, well, I'm about to say that goes against my point.
Yeah,
I said that. And I mean, really, if the committee wants to be consistent, if you put in 3 teams in a 14 playoff that lost their conference title game, you almost have to put in every team that loses its conference title game in the Power 4.
Plus, it depends on what happens in the game. Let's say Alabama makes it to the SEC championship game and loses by 3 points in a nail biter, as opposed to them losing by 21 points. So, if it's a close game and they have a chance to win it, I think they give them the nod and put them in. If they get blown out, they might not let them in with 3 losses. Then I don't know, but it also depends on what everyone else is doing. I mean, Texas and Texas A&M still have to play each other. That's a huge game.
Yes, it is.
When it comes to number of teams that get in from any conference, really, it depends on what's going on across the country.
Yeah.
Because I brought it up when we first come on here. I hate to break it to you, but a 1-loss Indiana is getting in over any 2-loss SEC team. They just are.
Yeah, 1-loss Indiana's getting in. For sure.
The dumbest one I saw is somebody actually said BYU is eliminated from the playoffs with that loss.
No, they're not.
No, they're not.
Well,
and now we can't forget about Notre Dame either.
You know what you're getting into with adding SMU or into this play? I mean, Indiana. You get into that area where TCU won, and then Georgia beats the living shit out of them in the championship.
Well, if you have a 1-loss Indiana at the end of the season, they beat Ohio State.
No.
Yeah.
No.
They're undefeated.
The playoff committee's not going to look at it your way, Slim. There's no way in hell they'd look at it that
Why would
way.
they beat Ohio State? If they beat Ohio State, they'll go undefeated.
They're not losing to Purdue.
Yeah, they're not. Okay, that's right.
Yeah, they don't have any
Purdue.
losses. Yeah. So, but I think Indiana's getting in anyway. Even if they lose to Ohio State, because they're going to beat Purdue, they'll be 11-1, and they'll get in.
I thought they already have a loss. They're not undefeated still.
No, they are undefeated.
Yeah, they're undefeated.
Oh, I thought they had 1 loss.
They're ranked like 4th in the nation right now.
Okay.
So even if they lost to Ohio State, they're not dropping out of the top 12 by losing to Ohio State and Columbus.
So, Pete, I know you were in favor of getting rid of divisions for a long time.
Yeah.
You're vocal about it. Do you think we should go back to it? Well, and to talk about ACC and SEC at the same time. Because I feel like the SEC should go back to divisions.
So we talked about this on the Lunch Money Show a little bit, a couple weeks ago, I think. Anyway, the more teams you keep adding, then you almost have to have divisions. As far as where the ACC is right now, I still like it how it is. I don't want divisions. But it's hard if you get up to 18 and 20 teams. Well, how much does the SEC have right now? 16?
16 teams.
All right, 16.
Yeah,
I think it's
SEC's at 8 games. SEC's at 18, or ACC's at 18. Excuse me.
Are they? No.
Yeah. Well, if you count Notre Dame, yeah.
Oh, if you count Notre Dame.
17 in conference and Notre Dame.
Yeah, that's about the limit. If you go to 20, I think you got to go to divisions at that point. I mean, you don't have to, but you probably should. I like it how it is right now in the ACC. I'm not complaining about it. I still think it's better to have the 2 best teams in the conference instead of well, in the ACC in particular, when we had divisions, the Atlantic Division was always better than the Coastal for the most part. So It was like when Clemson played Pitt that one year. Pitt was an 8-14 playing it in the ACC championship game.
Yeah,
that's silly.
Yeah.
By the way, Texas A&M, Texas football game is going to be played at Texas A&M at Kyle Field.
Yeah, it's at Kyle Field. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I knew that.
And I saw Pete put on Twitter that's where game day should go.
No.
Okay.
It probably will though, just because that game hasn't been played in so long.
That's what I understand that, but they've already been there. They don't usually go to the same place twice in 1 year. Not that they won't, but if they're looking around and say, well, we've already been to College Station this year, let's go somewhere we haven't been, the next best option is Clemson and South Carolina because they're both ranked.
I think in 2021, Scott might be able to help me out. I think we had 3 game days in Athens. Was it 3 or 2, Scott?
I think it was 2. 2.
Vic's the expert.
I think it was just 2. I think, but yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I remember we had them like they were here. They were in Athens like twice in 3 weeks because we played like Arkansas, and then 2 weeks later we played Kentucky, and they were in Athens for both of those. So.
Oh, they probably will go to A&M just because of the hype around the game. But let's say also, hypothetically, Miami gets upset by Syracuse the week before, then Clemson's in the hunt for the playoffs and an ACC title in that scenario. So they might choose to go to Clemson then. I don't know.
I mean,
Clemson, South Carolina, and
for a SEC game title spot.
No, I think they're
Clemson, South Carolina, and Miami, Syracuse are the same day.
Right. Well, I mean, I think they're gonna go to College Station, but
yeah, I don't know what I'm thinking. So you're right, Slim.
that's what I think. I think they're gonna be in College Station, but
yeah, we'll see.
that's what I'm predicting because they started the season at A&M, so they're gonna end it at A&M.
Well, even if they don't go to Clemson for game day, they really need to make Clemson and South Carolina a primetime game. It needs to be a night game.
Yeah,
I would agree.
It probably will be. Yeah.
Well, it's to be announced. They don't have the time yet scheduled for that.
Well,
that's why I said it needs
games
to
would
be.
make prime time. There's not really any other ranked matchups.
Unless they try to punish Dabo Swinney. You remember what happened before the season with between Clemson and South Carolina?
No,
what happened?
They wanted to move it to Friday night instead of Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
And Dabo was they said if you let us move it to Friday instead of Saturday, we'll guarantee you a primetime slot night game at home in Clemson. Dabo said no, we're not doing it on Friday. It's always been on Saturday, and we're not doing it on Friday. So they might say, okay, well fuck you, then we're putting you at noon.
Yes.
Yeah.
Instead, they put Georgia and Georgia Tech on Friday instead. So.
Yeah. Anyway.
Well, Baltimore's on Twitter, big man.
Did y'all see Josh Heupel's interview?
No.
I did not, but I didn't have time to mess with Heupel. I was messing with his fan base.
Right. So you mean did we see Bobby Hill's press conference? You mean?
Damn it, Bobby.
I'm just glad we only heard Rocky Top twice Saturday night.
Yeah, no, we heard it. We heard it 3 times.
I was about to say, I thought I heard it more than that.
That's right. Okay, with the field goal. That's right.
Hell, they do it when they get a first down.
Yeah, they'll play when they get a first down.
They play like every 5 seconds.
That's all those motherfuckers are good at, just playing instruments. Surprising.
Banjos.
And flogging. They're flogging, and they can play fiddles.
Yeah.
And flogging.
I hate Tennessee so much. I'm so glad we beat them.
Boy, they had a meltdown after that game on Twitter, boy. God damn.
Yeah, they did. Oh, I was enjoying that so much.
They did. Yeah.
They're calling for investigations and all kinds of shit, dude.
Investigations of what?
Oh, the refs, of course. What else would it be?
The only thing that needs to be investigated is that fake injury.
Oh, I put that out on Twitter afterwards because a lot of ball fans like taking shots at Lane Kiffin for that shit. I was like, I don't ever want to hear y'all talk about that shit again.
By the way, I'm never picking a Georgia game again, so don't expect me to on here or any other show.
Why? Who'd you?
Because anytime I pick, I pick against the spread, not the winner. So that's what I'm talking about. But anytime I pick in Georgia's favor, they don't cover. And when I pick against them, they do. Every time.
All right, well, let me know next time you pick against Georgia.
Yeah, well, I'm not doing it anymore.
Yeah, well,
so I can know what to bet against.
Don't feel bad, Pete. I took the under in that game.
Oh, yeah. I see. I did. I won a bet on that game. I didn't bet the spread. I took the over, though, and it hit.
Right.
Yeah, I took the fucking under, because Carson Beck is a trash can, and Nico, I'm about to leave you, hasn't done a fucking thing this year to impress me.
Yeah, then Carson Beck comes out and has the best game of the season for him.
What the fuck, man?
Yeah, Carson stepped up. Carson really stepped up this past Saturday. He was something else. He was running the damn ball himself
when it comes playoff time and UGA's got to line up with Miami. Mario's sending both the fucking twins to his dorm room.
The basketball players?
Well, he's already dating one of them. I don't think that she's gonna let her sister join in, but
yeah, you got to pay for that.
Listen, they're on the payroll. Y'all motherfuckers playing checkers. Mario's playing 4D chess.
Did y'all see the rumors that the reason Carson Beck played so well on Saturday?
Why, did his girlfriend give him good head?
No, the quarterback coach figured out. He said he's got this wandering eye. He said he's seeing 4 receivers when there's only 2. So just close the wandering eye and just throw it with one eye, and then you hit it every time.
That ain't right. I'm unsubscribing.
I think they probably told him, look, you look twice, and if you don't see anything, then either run or get rid of the damn ball. Because I think that was the problem with Carson. He sat back there too damn long. Although the offensive line on Saturday gave him plenty of damn time to throw the ball.
Yeah, their offensive line looks better than it had, especially the past several weeks.
Yeah, and Tennessee's got a good defense. They did a good job. That's got to be. Is that the most points that Tennessee's given up all year? It's got to be.
Yes.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Well, Georgia's defense stood up too, so that was good. That was good to see.
Y'all saw that Tennessee wide receiver? His name's Squirrel.
Yeah, Squirrel.
Yeah, Squirrel. Oh, Squirrel.
Imagine your name being Squirrel, man.
Well, I bet he's got some funny nicknames.
I honestly don't get what Tennessee fans are complaining about. Like, I watched that game. They were talking about like the bullshit face mask penalty. He literally ripped the dude's helmet off by his face mask. Like, what are you crying about?
Grab the face mask.
And they wanted that fumble call too. It was clearly a fumble. He didn't have control of the ball.
Yeah. Yeah. He also,
it was clearly incomplete.
He took one step with it. He didn't take multiple steps.
Yeah, they're dying on the hill that was a fumble, but I don't know what they're watching.
Yeah, it's called a jet sweep. It's a forward pass.
He never secured the ball.
No, Colby. He's talking about the downfield pass to Dell.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Where Dell came down, took a single step, never secured the ball, and immediately got hit.
Yeah, the ball was moving all around.
Yeah, I mean, it was clearly a fumble.
It was clearly a fumble.
And then they're also arguing about 12 men on the field. Did you see that fat ass walking off the field? Like, it wasn't even trying to hustle.
He took too long. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and guess what? Cam Ward's caught people a dozen times with that this year. He's going to hurry to the line if y'all are swapping out. That's just called playing the fucking game.
Yep, yeah.
But Josh Heupel wants to turn that microphone around and ask the reporter, what do you think? What a fucking disgrace.
Where do they fall in the pantheon? They're completely. There's no chance they can make the title game now, is there?
No, I don't think so.
It's either.
Here's the thing: with them talking about Bama making it earlier, like I understand having.
I wouldn't say
Bama over Georgia, but Tennessee beat Bama, so why wouldn't you have Tennessee over Bama?
Because Georgia beat Tennessee
and Alabama.
beat Georgia.
Oh no,
so.
yeah, they lost to Alabama.
Yeah, Georgia beat Alabama. Tennessee beat Alabama. Georgia beat. You got a menage a trois going on there. Okay.
Exactly. So that's why it's hard to to just say that we put Tennessee ahead of Alabama. Okay, well you got to have Tennessee behind Georgia, but Alabama beat Georgia, so.
Now here's a more interesting conundrum to me. Talking about the group of five, if in 2 weeks at the end of the season, just say for the sake of argument, Army's beat Notre Dame, how is the committee going to justify jumping Army up that high?
Well, except I'm not going to argue that, because I think Notre Dame's going to beat Army by 30. But.
Well, I think they're probably going to too, but that's why they play the game.
Well, here's the thing.
If you're talking about group of five teams, Army would have the best win of the group of five if they beat Notre Dame.
They could still technically get in as an automatic. I mean, not an automatic, but as a whatever you call it.
Do you think they put in two group of five?
I mean, it could. It's possible.
And Army.
If Boise State wins out, they're getting in, right? If Army wins out, I think they might get in too.
Well, that really kills the SEC's chances of 4 teams if you have 2 group of 5 teams.
Well, that also means the Big Ten won't get 4 teams in either.
I don't think any conference is getting 4 teams in.
No,
do we want the most deserving teams or the best teams?
Doesn't matter. What's the chances they'd leave an undefeated Army out with a win over Notre Dame?
Colby, both of those things you just said, Colby, both of those things you just said are completely subjective statements.
They are. You're right.
There's no rule that says you can't have 2 group of 5 teams in the playoffs.
Oh, there is. It was subjective as hell last year and picking and choosing.
So who gets left out then?
Well, I don't know, because there's still. I mean, look, Tennessee still. They might lose to Vanderbilt. That eliminates.
See, a lot of this may still sort itself out.
Yeah, because you got
I've called that scenario exactly that I think Vanderbilt very well may beat Tennessee.
And Texas A&M still have to play. Yeah.
Does Indiana get in after they lose to Ohio State?
1,000%.
See,
because that'll be their only loss.
That'd be their only loss. Yeah, they'll get in.
And 11-1 Indiana is in.
Now let's say that Indiana goes and upsets Ohio State. Is Ohio State out? They've got 2 losses then. They won't make the Big Ten title game.
No, I don't think a 2-loss Ohio State is out.
Indiana would make the title.
Yeah, Indiana would go to the title game. Ohio State wouldn't.
That's right.
Yeah, I think if Ohio State lost this week, they might be out.
Yeah, they might be.
Yeah, I
don't think so. Because we're arguing about 2-loss Georgia's and Tennessee's getting into the playoffs.
Yeah.
A 2-loss Ohio State's definitely in.
Well, you know what? 2-loss Georgia with the damn schedule they've had this year, which has been absolutely the toughest schedule of any college football team.
Florida's got the toughest schedule of any college football team.
Oh, tell me the team to ask.
Florida has the toughest schedule of any college football team.
Okay, second toughest. Sorry.
No, actually, I think Georgia's in the top 10, but they don't have the second toughest.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, yeah.
That's a good point by Spank. The Penn State's a ranked win. They beat Penn State.
And look, Indiana, who have they played?
Here we go with who have they played.
I mean, FIU, Western Illinois, UCLA, Charlotte, Maryland, Northwestern.
I don't even think it matters.
Nebraska, Washington, Michigan State.
56.
I don't think it matters.
Michigan hasn't been worth a shit this year, so I mean, yeah. I mean, if they get past Ohio State, yes, I'd say they should be in.
They would.
Listen, an 11-win team from any power conference should be in.
Okay, but you can say that last year about Florida State, undefeated ACC championship.
That was a 4-team playoff.
They absolutely should have been in.
That was when we had.
I'm not saying they shouldn't have been, but they did.
Yeah, but that was a 4-team playoff.
That was 14.
Yeah.
TCU won a playoff game, Scott. That's a dumb argument.
Well, no, they won against Michigan. Yes, they did. And then they got their ass handed to them by Georgia because they weren't that good.
They still won a playoff game. That's a dumb argument.
Well, in the final rankings before the playoffs, they were ranked 5th, so they would have been in this playoff. They would have got a home game in this playoff.
Yeah, they would have had a bye in this playoff. Yeah.
Not a bye, a home game.
And you know what? We haven't even talked about Colorado. Those motherfuckers might squeak in with a bye.
Right, either Colorado.
If they win the Big 12, yeah.
As they should.
Yeah, Colorado or Arizona State could get in, yeah, or Iowa State, or
Well, right now it's whoever wants to play BYU as things sit right now.
Right, or BYU, unless.
Well, you still got Colorado, you still got Arizona State still alive with 2 losses. You got BYU sitting there with 1 loss. The Big 12 isn't even figured out yet.
Yeah, you got Iowa State.
And that's the other reason I think that no conference is getting 4 teams in, because I think the Big 12 will get 2.
Probably.
This is giving me an ice cream headache.
Yeah.
I know. This is like
The Big 12. The Big 12 will get 2. The ACC will get 2. Like, here's the thing. After all that bullshit last year, with the whole, well, this will never happen again, they're definitely not going to do that shit this year. You're going to have 3 teams from each of the Big 10 and SEC. You're going to get 2 from the Big 12 and the ACC. Notre Dame will be in as long as they win out. And then we'll see. It'll probably be Boise State. We'll get the group of 5.
Why are we arguing then? If that's
well, we don't. That's
if that's the lineup. Let's let that be the lineup.
That's the most. That's the most likely.
Like I said, I mean,
committee, Slim.
We're all guessing, but I'm just saying that's probably what it'll be.
Slim, you say, I want to pick your brain about this. You said 3 teams going from the SEC. Can you name which one? It's Texas, Texas, Ole Miss, Georgia, and Alabama, and Tennessee looking on the outside. So which 3 do you think get in?
We'll have to see over the next 2 weeks who catches L's and who doesn't.
Exactly.
That's what's going to determine it.
And
if Tennessee loses to Vandy, if Bama loses to Auburn, if A&M loses to Texas, we'll have to see how the next couple of weeks play out.
Isn't there some rumor that in a couple of years the SEC and the Big Ten might create their own playoff if they don't get their way? Because I'm afraid that's going to head in that direction.
That sounds all well and good. Like you've heard this for years now that football needs to separate away from the NCAA. But here's the problem. The NCAA controls every other sport. So these schools still have to play nice with the NCAA at the end of the day.
Yeah, I don't. First of all, that'd be if the SEC went independent, had their own playoffs, that would be terrible for football. I don't think they'd do that.
No, they wouldn't.
I mean,
I hope not. Horrible for the sport. I hope not either. Like you said.
I think it's a lot of peacocking by the SEC commissioner, even threatening that if he's. I don't even.
That's come from nobody but the fan base.
The fans, yeah. Speculation.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. This is as crazy as this season's been. It's really difficult to predict. There's so many different scenarios that goes on to who can play in conference championship games and who will be on the bubble as far as the playoffs are concerned. It's just, and like Slim said, I think most of it's going to work itself out in the next 2 weeks. Anyway,
a lot of times it does.
I mean, you have some games in there that could throw a wrench into everything. Like Army beating Notre Dame would be one. I don't know, Georgia Tech beating Georgia, something like that.
Yeah.
Which I don't think is going to happen, but
that's a possibility.
Well, we know how to kneel the ball, don't we, dogs? So
now, if there's any season for chaos, Pete, I think it's going to be this season, because I think a lot of people are pointing to this season, trying to say, oh well, look, here's all the parity that we were looking for.
Yeah.
And I agree, we have it this season. Is it going to happen seasons going forward? That's still until proven otherwise. This is 2007. This is just a chaotic year.
It is, and I like it.
I like it too. I like it too. Look, there aren't too many perfect teams this year. I mean, Oregon's played perfect, but who they played. Yeah,
it's great.
Well, no, Oregon hasn't played perfect. Did you watch their game Saturday? They were riding the struggle bus with Wisconsin.
I mean, look at how many teams.
Ohio State.
Look how many teams right now.
Meaning that they've had no losses
that are in the playoff conversation that in week 13 that we had thought had no chance of even coming in close to a playoff. You got or even a conference championship. Army, Arizona State, Colorado, Indiana.
Hey, a lot of people said I was crazy for saying Miami.
I was about to say Miami. Yeah,
Miami's in it.
Yeah. Well, no, I think they were. Most people had them playing for the ACC championship. I think preseason.
A lot of people had them in the discussion, but a lot of people, even on this show, called me crazy.
Well, I know in the Vegas odds you were third. It was Florida State, Clemson, then Miami. But from a fan perspective, I think most people thought that Miami was going to at least play in the ACC championship. Well, I did.
I'm out of here.
All right, see you later.
Conversation. Take care.
All right, see you later, Scott.
How many times did you vote for Trump? Damn it!
You voted.
Well, I'll answer that question. 26 times in 17 different states.
Yeah.
He's well traveled.
I didn't vote, so I can't speak.
Yeah, Nate didn't vote. Yeah.
Nate, you gotta vote, Nate.
Oh, it's too late.
Yeah,
no, he got to vote.
No, it's not too late. They're still counting votes.
Well, he can vote next time. He can vote in the next election.
I'll vote for myself.
Which, by the way, you want to make shit look fishy? Let's still be counting votes 2 weeks later. That don't look sus at all.
Yeah, you'll probably see.
Just
1%.
imagine if the refs didn't fuck over South Carolina, and they were a 2-loss team at this point.
I mean, they probably would.
They'd be ranked if they would have beat LSU, they'd be ranked in the top 10 right now, probably.
Yeah, I think
probably. Yeah.
Or at least the top 15.
Definitely the top 15. Hell, they might be top 15 tomorrow night when they do the rankings.
I have a question.
My biggest problem with the rankings right now, I think the disrespect for Army is pretty high.
And is any game a gimme game?
No.
No. So, is Ohio State versus Michigan a gimme game?
Yes.
Yeah.
No,
there's one exception.
Well, Pete, I would say Miami against Wake Forest is a gimme game.
I would think so too. Yeah.
You have to pick one. It's either yes or no.
And also whenever Florida State plays, that's a gimme game.
Correct. Florida State is a gimme game.
That's a good question for this week. Charleston Southern is 1-10, and Florida State is 1-9. Who gets their second win of the season?
Oh God, please!
I have no clue on that.
That might be the worst.
I'll take it SU.
Yeah. Oh, S.
I'll tell you what. If Charleston Southern beats Florida State, there won't the whole team's transferring and Mike Norvell's getting fired.
Yeah. Look, look at
a 1-win Power 5 is still better than a 1-win FCS. So.
Look,
that's too big.
We'll see about that.
What Big's saying is true in theory, but Florida State has given up. Go ahead.
Sorry.
I don't disagree with that. I think Florida State is in give-up mode. That's why I honestly wonder who's going to win this game.
Right.
I don't.
No, I don't give up
those are just
enough to lose
well, maybe I'm just hoping for opportunities because listen, I'll be unbearable to the Florida State fan base on Twitter this weekend.
The biggest lineman for Charleston Southern is half the size of the biggest lineman for Florida State.
Shit.
He's got a lot of heart, bro.
It's like putting me out there at defensive end, you know.
He might have a lot of heart in the Florida State roster.
I mean, it's not like they're playing Jacksonville State.
Well, that's true. But yeah, I was gonna say, like, even Michigan's terrible, which they are. I even admitted it, but they can still up.
Nate, how did y'all fuck up that game to USC?
What do you mean?
Just what he said.
How'd you lose?
How'd you fuck up that game against Southern Cal?
Oh, the Nebraska game?
Yeah, your other team.
I even streamed that fucking game for 2 hours.
Wow.
Oh, you gave up on your stream?
No,
Come on,
I did not give up.
Never give up on the stream.
Well, the game's 4 hours, so if you only stream for 2 hours, that means you quit.
First off, it was my first ever doing play-by-play. But the second thing, I had to go to my hockey game that I was trying to play at, so I couldn't control that. But I did want my Huskers to win, but yet again, I knew that they're going to fuck up. So,
well, I almost had a heart attack on my stream on Saturday. Boy,
good Lord, that was something else I was either gonna ask you about today or tomorrow night. What the fuck?
Look, I even had a temper tantrum during the game.
Did y'all see Jackpot stream?
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, you remember when he yelled at that guy?
Yes. So it was the last drive. South Carolina was like less than 2 minutes left in the game. They were down, and they were driving. They had to score a touchdown. I think they were more than 3 points down. Right? They were 4 points down.
Yeah.
They had to get a touchdown, and they get down to inside it was like to the 8-yard line or whatever it was, or 6-yard line. And so I don't know what Jackpot's streaming setup is, but apparently he's watching the game through his phone, I guess, on his TV. Like,
Oof.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, someone calls his phone right at that time when they're first and goal from the 6.
That's hilarious.
And he answers it. And so it cut his TV off.
And he said,
Well, that's on him.
Yeah. So it cut his TV off, and then by the time he got it all figured out and got the TV back on, the game was already over. He was so mad. He didn't know who it was, so he called the number back and yelled at the guy. You stupid fuck! Who are you?
He should just block that call.
It wasn't over, but he missed the touchdown.
Yeah. Okay. Well, he missed it. Yeah, he missed that. So by the time the game came back on, huh?
Why did he not ignore the call?
I don't know. He should have ignored the call.
True. Yeah.
Right.
Well, listen, a normal person would ignore the call, but we're talking about Jackpot here.
Now, if it was like a friend, I would know.
Jackpot was threatening to kick his ass. He's like, "Where are you? I'm gonna come hit you upside the head with a Coke can or some shit like that." I don't know who the guy was. He said he was a Florida fan.
Oh, that's typical.
Well, that's what happens when you get drunk on stream and give out your phone number.
Hey,
he probably thought it was a pizza delivery driver calling him.
Oh yeah, hit you upside the head with a Dr. Pepper. That's what he said.
Hey Vic, you never into my stream. I don't know if you were watching at the time, but in my stream at one point, I got so mad when White Olo threw an interception. I got out of my chair like just with fumes.
That is a good question. 12-foot Ninja says, "How is that guy that called him supposed to know that he uses his phone as a remote?"
Well, that is a good point. But
Yeah.
What are you gonna say, Vic?
hey, Nate, has Dylan Raiola figured out he's not Patrick Mahomes yet?
I don't care what he is. He just needs to play him.
Does he date an annoying white girl?
I have no idea.
Oh,
Probably. No. Dylan Raiola is the annoying white girl in the relationship.
I do not care if he's Patrick Mahomes.
Remember Patrick and his wife were like on an NBA sideline courtside. And he said, "You have resting bitch face." That's what he said.
What the fuck?
No, she said to her friend next to her, she said, "Patrick told me not to have resting bitch face."
Look,
whatever it was.
I actually get for the kid because look, he wants. I think this is what inspired or just I don't know what you call it, like his favorite player. I will say he's inspired by him, but I don't blame him. But if I were to tell Raiola something, just play as you. Don't play as
Hey, does Raiola have an annoying gay brother?
I don't think. Well, no, he has a little brother. I don't know if he's annoying.
Is he gay?
It's not gay. I don't think. He looks exactly like his brother. Well, his basic brother was this. But his brother's committed to Nebraska, so.
Hey, by the way, when did fans of SEC teams become so soft?
What do you
Like,
think?
you put up with almost 2 decades of Nick Saban, but Brian Kelly yells in somebody's face, and all of a sudden people are on their soapboxes.
Yeah, that's a good point. I thought Big Ten were soft.
I didn't see that.
They're all mad at they're mad at Brian Kelly for yelling at somebody for doing something stupid. You're right. When do coaches not yell at players? Like, is that where we're going? You can't yell at players anymore?
Yeah, exactly.
I will give you this, Slim. It's not that fans have gotten soft. People in general have gotten soft.
Yeah, well, that's true.
That's a true statement. So it has nothing to do with fans. It's just people.
Suck it up, Buttercup. Football coaches yell at people. Water is wet.
That's a debate.
There will be no more Bobby Nice. There will be no more of these folk.
No Mark Richt.
Yeah, we're getting to the point where you got players yelling at coaches now.
Yeah, being coaches.
And the player didn't that receiver yell at Brian Kelly?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah.
I mean.
That's exactly why Brian Kelly yelled in his face, "Who the fuck do you think you are?"
Yeah.
Exactly.
Pete, I have a tip for you. Whatever you try to look at Nebraska games, never pick Nebraska ever again.
I don't.
Just saying, because you did pick Nebraska last week, did you?
Yeah, to
I don't remember. I definitely didn't bet on it. I know that.
Well, I know not bet, but like just picking in general. But,
yeah, Nebraska.
Nate, how do y'all always get out to 5 wins fast and then can't win another game?
I even said in Lou's Patreon stream. Nebraska might not ever go to a bowl game ever again. I'm dead serious.
Well, never's a long time, Nate.
Yeah.
Well, I know it's looking like that. It's probably never ever going to happen.
Nate, Colorado probably thought the same thing. So no,
you're starting to sound like Hufferbilly Paul now, Nate.
Well, there's two differences between Slaw and me.
You're starting to sound like those people that like actually think just because a team used to be good and they're down now that they'll never come back. Like that's some of the dumbest shit I've ever heard.
Especially Nebraska's a huge brand.
And look,
you're watching it with Colorado, Nate. Colorado's going to a bowl game, and they were down bad for a long time.
Even Lou said this before in some video. Nebraska might not ever win in that again, which kind of.
Well, again, if your source for that is Uncle Lou's trolling,
yeah, right. I mean, what are you talking about, Nate?
He was dead serious. I think.
No, he wasn't.
No, he wasn't.
He says the same thing about Michigan before.
He says a lot of things like that. He's trolling. You know that, right, Nate?
And even if he is serious, guess what? He was wrong. Because I remember that video. If I'm not mistaken, that was before 2020. And since then, because you had Florida on that list. And since then, Florida's played for the SEC championship.
Yeah, he said yesterday that Tennessee's never winning the SEC again. Do you think he really believes that? No.
I don't know. Maybe.
Hey, Nate, I have a question for you.
What's up?
Nate, can you hear me? How did your date go?
Oh, I think I've told you already. It's not really a date, but it's meet up first.
Well, she thought it was a date, so it's a date.
Yeah, I call it a date or whatever. Yeah. It went really well, actually.
Good.
So, is there plans for a second date?
Did you get a second base?
I think. Well, I don't want if I should say her name, but
no, don't say her name.
No, just do you have a second date?
my that's kind of weird, but my girl.
Yeah, your bitch. Yeah.
Hey, Nate, since you believe that trolling, I've got some beachfront property in Arizona I want to sell you.
Is it guns? That's good.
Nate, is there a second date? What is going on here?
It's a yes or no question.
Yes.
Okay, good.
Right.
There is.
Good.
Sorry.
Are you? So you went to a pizza place this time. Is the second date going to be an upgrade, like maybe dinner and a movie?
Yeah. Well, basically, you nailed it in the head. You just read my mind.
Oh, dinner and a movie. See?
How much pizza did you eat?
Huh?
How much did you eat?
You said how much pizza did you eat?
Oh, I thought you said how much pizza did you Pete? That's all I heard.
What?
That's what I heard.
I don't know what he was trying to say.
Yeah, did you eat an entire pizza?
No, I basically eat a half a pizza. So.
All right, I'm going to walk you through this because it's going to take you an hour to explain this date to us. So you go to the pizza place. You guys get a table. What do you order? And hold on, what do you order? And do you order for both you and her?
Well, she ordered for herself because it's for a meetup thing first. But I ordered pizza. You probably it's a cream cheese, mushroom, and then sausage pizza.
I know this motherfucker.
Wait a minute. You went to a restaurant and ordered cream cheese on a pizza?
I told you guys about this. I'm not the only one that put.
Like, I thought that was just some weird shit you did at home when nobody was looking.
No. I didn't. I don't know if I told you guys this, but in Nebraska or in Omaha in general,
of course,
pizza. Some pizza place has cream cheese as a topping.
Yeah, that's where he learned it from.
It's Nebraska.
It's Nebraska style pizza.
Anyways, moving on.
All right, wait. What kind of pizza did she order?
Cream cheese, mushroom.
I hope she got that meat lovers, Nate, if you know what I'm saying.
So she got the same pizza as you?
No. Oh, she asked her pizza.
Her pizza.
She got chicken Alfredo.
Chicken Alfredo pizza. Now, how big were these pizzas?
I got the large pizza, which is like 18-inch.
You got a large 18-inch pizza for you.
Yeah, but...
Did you not listen to anything I told you before you went on this date?
It's not.
No, he didn't.
It's a meetup.
I said, order one pizza for the both of you. Don't order a giant pizza for yourself. And that's exactly what you did.
No, okay. You're right. I did that.
An 18-inch pizza, that feeds an entire family.
Look, I was not even by myself. That's the only reason.
Oh, who was there? Who else was there?
It was the gal that comes at my house. That is it's a. Anyways.
Oh, so you had a chaperone.
Yes.
Okay.
Basically a lifestyles.
No, she sounds like a cock blocker. Is what she sounds like.
Okay, but she was at a different table, though, right?
No, she was at the same table. That's why I said.
So y'all had a chaperone.
Damn, you should have told that lady to go sit somewhere else. Be like, I'm on a date, lady.
Wow.
Go sit across the room or something.
Go to the bar.
Mentor. I don't know what she is, but.
Hey, man.
I mean, look, I wanted.
Wait a minute. She brought friends and expected you to feed them too?
No, she got her own meal. Everyone got
their own pizza. Okay, did you pay for her pizza? No, you didn't, did you?
Very important.
He didn't. I can tell by the way
He did.
This isn't sounding like a date.
There's no, it says not a date.
Oh, this is
It's not a date. Well, I did say it before it's a date, but I thought it was a date because it wasn't.
I'm about to say, you said it was a blind date, Nate.
Basically, it wasn't a date. I thought it was until my mentor said it's not a date, it's just a meetup. So.
Oh, don't forget about what your mentor says.
Yeah, she's cock blocking. That's what she's trying to do, man.
This is horrible.
Let me ask you, did you get her phone number?
Yeah, I got my.
No, not the handler, the girl.
You get her phone up.
Yes.
You did, okay.
Good.
My man.
Have you talked to her after or texted with her?
Yes.
Okay, good. All right, we're getting somewhere here now.
Well, I can read the messages if you want.
No, I don't want. No, don't do that.
By the way, I have seen the lady that she went on the date with. She is pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nate, I do have to tell you, she's a lot better looking than Ballard's girlfriend.
Damn. Wow. Damn.
Wait, Ballard's catching strays over here.
You leave Ballard's girl with a droopy eye alone, okay?
Damn.
Look, Ballard, if you're listening, Colby said that.
Yeah, keep Ballard's girlfriend's name out your mouth.
Yeah,
Damn.
wow. Yeah.
So on the second date, here's what you need to do. First of all, Nate, you need to bring her some flowers.
In the movie theater? I would do that, actually. Yes.
No, we said you're going. Are you going? Depends on where you're going first. Are you going to dinner first or the movie first?
We're going to movies.
Movies
You
first.
want him to bring flowers on a second date? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a fucking alpha move.
Yeah.
Hey man, this man's been married for 20 odd years.
Yeah.
He's the Zen master.
He said 20-odd years and flowers on the second. I've been in the dating game very recently. I would not advise
this is my
flowers on the
first
second
time.
date.
Yeah, that's why
just me.
You're still single, right? You should probably bring flowers on the second date.
That explains why he's still in the dating game and not married.
Take hard.
I love the dating game. Is Nate trying to get married on the second date? I'm trying to see where this is going.
You should you should probably actually bring flowers on the first date too, but definitely on the second one.
They didn't let me, sadly, but anyways.
All right, so this one, forget what they say. Fuck them, Nate. Bring flowers, and then here's what you do: you tell your handler, say, "Hey, you drop us off at the movie theater, and we go in by ourselves, and you can come pick us up when it's over."
Yeah.
I will say that nicely. I won't be a dick. So
yeah, nicely, of course.
Yeah. No, you just pull her to the side and go, "Hey, lady, pound sand."
But yeah, so,
I mean, is it her handler or your handler, or both?
She has a handler too, so.
She has a handler too. What the hell?
Wait, there are 4 people?
Yeah.
Right. What is going on?
Oh my God.
No, I'm saying.
I thought there was 3 now. Hold on.
No. She has.
Well, see, that's why you make it a double date. That way, your handler's distracted.
No, this ain't a 5-some. Okay, I'm just kidding.
Nate, how many people were with you at dinner?
4 people.
Oh my.
Total. But me, her, and my handler and her handler. So.
So y'all both have a handler.
Yeah.
Good God. 4 is definitely a fucking crowd.
Yeah, that. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
And about her is her handler a
and it ain't and 4 ain't good business either.
So is her handler?
I mean, look, we're in the service, like not like a military service. We're in like a.
Yes, Nate. We all know you're not in the military.
Yeah, no shit. Disability service, just for lifestyle. Anyways, moving on.
Yeah. So I have a question. So was her handler a girl or a guy?
Both were girls. So yes.
Okay, so I was just saying that maybe you could set your handler up with her handler. But...
Damn, so Nate, he could still do that.
Depending on what team they bat for, that may still be a possibility.
Yeah.
Well, my handler's married, so that won't work.
Oh, well, hey, maybe there's...
That doesn't stop a lot of people in 2024, so that doesn't matter.
Yeah, maybe they're pineapple people.
Yeah, but upside down. Ask them about upside down pineapples if they...
Pineapple.
So, you said you were going on a date. It sounds more like you went on a
meeting. I mean, what do we call it? A meetup.
A family dinner is what it sounded like to me. 4 people.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, right.
But it's basically
wanted to bring flowers on this next outing.
No,
I'm not even sure what advice to give on this at this point.
Exactly. So, is it a good idea to meet her parents first and then?
Hell no.
Or what?
What?
Or what?
What do you mean?
Well, first of all, no, you would. I think the proper thing to do is you invite her to meet your parents.
Yeah.
It's early in the relationship, Nate. You're supposed to initiate basically everything.
What? Yeah, sure.
Why are parents involved this early when they're having
I have no
a real
idea.
date?
She might be the only child of her parents. I don't know.
What? Nate, you might need to find out a little bit more about this girl and have an official first date. That's what I.
No, I mean I don't know her exactly. But wait, I'll take that back. I know enough. She likes basically the exact same sports I like, which I said before.
Ooh, I got an idea for a date.
Really? Is she an Ohio State fan?
Thank God, no.
I got an idea for a date, Nate. For a third date. If you hit it off on the second date, things are still going well. Invite her to go ice skating with you, because that's what you're really good at.
And she likes hockey.
Yeah, but go ice skating, but let her ice skate with you, not just watch you play hockey.
I know. That's basically.
Yeah, that's romantic.
Is it called public skating at your place? I call it public.
You know how you just skate around in a circle with a girl and hold her hand?
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, do that.
You got the rubber snake.
What's up?
You got the rubbers.
Hell no, let's not get that far down the road now.
Right. Did he say rubber snake?
Not get that far. Come
What do you
on.
mean by rubber? Like rubber, or
Just don't even worry about it.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Don't worry about it.
Oh, that's a good point. Anthony Swift said this would be a great reality show. Can you vlog your date?
Oh, damn.
I should.
You should. Yeah, I know you should.
And I would.
Hey, you want to get views on your YouTube channel, blog it and post it to your channel, Nate.
No, I will, but I don't have patience for editing, but I need like an editor I should get. I don't know. But I don't edit that much. So but yeah, I would vlog. Yeah, I will vlog it.
Yeah, maybe you can get Squidtard to be your editor.
Well, how is that gonna work?
Hey, listen, if I was Squidtard and knew how to do what Squidtard did, in this case, Nate, I would do it pro bono.
Well, I'm just asking how would I do it because I had no idea.
Well, you just
Squidtard.
You don't know how to vlog?
Well, I know how to vlog. Well, actually, no. I had like one experience on that. That's all.
I did a vlog with you when you were here. Remember?
Was just a phone or I have no idea.
Yeah, my phone.
Oh, it's hard to edit on your phone.
You have to edit your phone. You can just you just record with your phone.
Well, why does vloggers have those?
Yeah, you got to edit it. You got to edit it down. I mean, if you record for 3 hours, you have to edit it down to like 15 or 20 minutes or something.
That's what I mean. I might want to do that, but I don't know if that's too long or not.
Yeah.
Anyways. Hey, so you know what Tennessee is?
What?
Property of Georgia.
Yeah, property.
Yeah, that's true. True.
Yeah.
Tell that to Lou. Actually.
Yeah, property. Yeah.
He might make a T-shirt of that.
All right, Nate. So let us know what happens on the date, and take my advice this time, and bring her flowers.
Oh shit!
I kick me out.
Oh shit!
No, I'm just saying.
Rubbers.
Rubbers and flowers.
I will either.
I mean, don't bring her red roses or anything. That's like for a serious. But bring her like a nice bouquet of some. I don't know her favorite tulips or some flowers, shit like that. Yeah.
Y'all should watch 50 Shades of Grey.
I've seen
Shades of Grey.
I've seen
together.
Some scenes of that.
You might get kinky.
No.
Well, I did like some scenes, but definitely.
Yeah, don't listen to anything Jarrett says. Listen to me.
I'm listening to you, Pete. I know.
And also pay for her.
Handler's going to show up on this date.
You hear me, Nate?
Yes, I hear you.
Pay for her.
I'm gonna pay for her.
Definitely pay for that. That's something I agree with Pete. Definitely pay for her meal. Pay for her shit.
Yeah.
Yep. But I ain't driving, so I'm probably gonna. Well, no. Yeah. I can't drive a side by side. I don't have that.
No, just get dropped off wherever you're going. Yeah.
How about you get an Uber?
No, I don't know. No, that's not good. Nate likes to wander off. Him trying to find an Uber is probably a disaster.
Well, true.
Yeah.
Unlocked last time. Anyways, yeah. Yeah, like you said, Pete, it's my first time, and I will say the same. I'm taking your advices seriously, so.
Well, you didn't the first time.
Well, I know that because it wasn't really a date, but anyways.
All right, listen, you're new to the dating game. You're going to make mistakes. It's fine. We all did. We all do.
Yeah.
You'll learn.
Yeah, I know. I will learn.
You'll learn.
Hey, so get this. They're trying to ban the Trump dance in the NFL.
What was that?
Oh.
Who is trying to ban it?
Yeah, boy.
What's the Trump dance?
They're having a meltdown. You don't know what the Trump dance is?
No.
A trumpet?
You don't know the dance that Trump does at all of his rallies?
No, hell no.
Yeah.
That's fake news. That's fake news.
No, it's not. It's true.
So
It's true. Okay.
Where
Cool.
he just
it happened twice yesterday, I think. Brock Bowers scored a touchdown, did the Trump dance. There was somebody else that did one too.
Detroit, Zadarius Smith, a few other
John
players.
Jones did it too.
Yeah, John Jones. Well, he did it right in front of Trump because Trump was there.
Yeah.
Yeah, he knocked that guy out, and then did the Trump
What
dance.
isn't fake news, and I don't agree with this, is they fined Joey Bosa like almost $12,000. It was either almost $12,000 or $13,000 for wearing that hat and bombing an interview.
Nick Bosa.
All right. Yeah. Well then. Yeah. Okay.
Joey plays for LA.
Oh yeah. It was Nick.
I don't know why would you be fined for wearing a hat? It's not like he had like
if it was the other party, I don't think they would do it. But if it was Trump,
because he had on a MAGA hat.
Kaepernick got put out the NFL for taking a knee. So move on from that subject.
No, he didn't get put out of the NFL. He got put out of the NFL because he's fucking terrible.
No, that's not why he got put out of no NFL, because he's terrible. He
got put out of the fucking NFL because he's terrible. That motherfucker didn't have shit to say until he got benched for Alex fucking Smith.
You could be benched and still be in the NFL. He could have been a backup in the NFL.
he didn't want to be one.
Nobody wanted him because he's terrible.
Blackballed him out the NFL for taking a knee. So I'm moving.
Nobody wanted him because he was fucking terrible.
We're not going to do that subject.
It's because he is a sucker.
Hey, the facts don't care about your feelings, sir.
Well,
he's a suck nut. That's why he's terrible.
The MAGA hat.
Well, hold on now.
They went off on him for taking a knee.
Half of the players. Hold on. Half of the.
The NFL didn't go off on anybody for taking a knee. They promoted it.
No, hold on now.
So now you're just fucking lying.
That is not true.
Nothing to do with
that
politics.
is not true, Slim.
He just
fucking promoted it.
Started taking a knee.
They promoted the shit.
No, they did not when he first did.
Well,
you just make shit up.
It has nothing to do with politics. He played.
Go check your
fucking libtards get mad when you call them under bullshit.
Well, hold on. Let me say something real quick. So half of the NFL kneeled, but not all half of the NFL didn't have a job. Only Colin Kaepernick. Why is that?
They did not have when he first did it, he was the only person, and they went after him. Then later they corrected their stance. When he first did it, he was the only person that did it.
Yeah,
so I'm saying both sides. I'm the only person, just like with when we talked about election fraud. Hey, if it's fraud here, it's fraud here. I'm for both sides. They should not have told Joey Bosa he couldn't wear the hat.
Yeah,
but when
I agree.
Colin Kaepernick first took a knee, he was the only person who did it, and they dogged him out.
Was he fined for it?
Okay, but they didn't fine him for it.
No, they didn't.
The NFL didn't fine him.
They did.
The NFL actually didn't do anything to him.
I'll let y'all go with it.
Yeah, you're done because you don't have an argument.
It's only a problem when I'll let you go. Let
Bye.
you go do whatever.
Toodles.
Anyway.
Libtards can't handle it when they get caught on their bullshit. I swear to God, man.
And to be honest, Colin Kaepernick wasn't that good. Like, he was in a Super Bowl one time and he lost to the Ravens.
Like, Kaepernick can take all the knees he wants. I don't give a fuck. You're making a political.
I don't know. Here's what I think. I don't think these NFL owners really care about their player. If you're an elite, like, in other words, let's say that Tom Brady or somebody like that, an elite player, would have kneeled. Do you think that they would have blackballed Tom Brady? No, but we know why, because he's winning Super Bowls.
Yeah.
They don't.
They didn't blackball Colin Kaepernick either. Nobody wanted him because he's terrible.
That's kind of my point. What I'm saying is they don't care about that. All they care about is how you perform on the field, unless you're getting arrested and shit like that. But
Yeah. Colin Kaepernick.
There you go.
Only run the ball. He could not throw the ball.
Antonio Brown has been blackballed from the NFL because nobody wants to deal with his bullshit.
Exactly. Yeah.
So,
he's
basically the Jake Paul of NFL. And Antonio Brown is.
The Jake Paul of the NFL.
Say that because Brown was a good receiver. So
he was, and more people put up with his shit for longer because he was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a lunatic.
He's one of the fun.
Fuck. How many people, if they weren't good, would still have a job after you called the GM of the Raiders a cracker?
You would.
Then he went after Tom Brady too. Now they've made up.
Yeah. They kissed and made up. I saw that.
Well, basically, Antonio Brown apologized to Tom Brady, and Brady accepted his apology.
Well, he should have. That was one of the rare times I agreed with Stephen A. Smith that, you're talking shit about a man that let you into his house.
Yeah.
Like, whether it's true or not, the accusations made against you, you ain't stepping foot in my house, not with my kids.
And Brady's the one that got him on the Bucks, and he won a Super Bowl with him.
Yep.
Oh, that's right. I saw that video. Yeah, that's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Smith, you know who's the king of ESPN? Not him. You know who it is? Pat McAfee.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know about that.
I believe it is. It's got to be. He dominates. He's definitely the king of ESPN, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I'm watching him right now. He's more entertaining to watch. He's more entertaining to watch than Stephen A. Smith. When I hear Stephen A. Smith, I hear yelling like, "Oh!" It's just obnoxious.
Well, I really don't watch any of the talking heads on ESPN.
Yeah, me either.
Just being honest.
If I do listen to anybody, it'll be Pat McAfee because he's funny. He's like one of the bros.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm with Slim. I'd rather watch idiots on YouTube than ESPN programming.
Pat McAfee was YouTube before he was ESPN.
Well, on YouTube, you have to pay to watch him. So
what?
No, you didn't.
You have to pay to watch Pat McAfee.
No, you don't.
Live streams.
No, you don't.
No, you don't.
Yeah, you do.
No, you don't.
You have to be a member to watch the comment. You have to comment if you want.
Oh well.
Okay, well, I'm not commenting on Pat McAfee's show. So
okay, never mind. Maybe I'm commenting. Got it. Anyways,
why would anybody pay to comment on Pat McAfee's show when it's on ESPN every day live?
Exactly.
And 2 hours on. Then it's 2 hours on ESPN Plus. Yeah.
I have a question for the NFL. Even before we were talking about the NFL, who's your early Super Bowl picks for matchups?
Yeah,
Detroit Lions, and either the Chiefs or the Bills, the Bills always choke. So.
Ravens and the Lions.
Hang on, let me check the script and I'll tell you. Hang on.
but the Lions are winning the Super Bowl, so
yeah.
Well, I wouldn't put any money on that, but that's just me.
Well, you see how Jared Goff chokes when he gets pressure? Come on now. Jared Goff, when you get pressure on him, oh my God, he folds like a lawn chair.
Yeah,
5 interceptions in that Texans game.
Hey, let me let you know a little secret. Every quarterback in the league looks bad when you get pressure on them.
yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's okay, but
he looked bad when he played the Texans. When he got even the slightest pressure, look at
the 2020 Super Bowl. You get pressure on Pat Mahomes and he looks terrible.
Yeah, he still gets away, but still.
Yeah.
Jared Goff is the quarterback of the best team in the NFL.
Quarterbacks do not perform well under pressure.
I mean, they have one of the best. They might have the best offense in the NFL.
Oh, Lions do?
Yeah.
That's kind of weird to say.
They got a great defense. They got that Deion.
They got a great team.
If that Aiden Hutchinson wouldn't have gone out with an injury, probably season-ending injury, they probably would have had a really great defense.
The Lions destroy everybody they play every week. It's crazy.
Well,
but they replaced them with Kadarius Toney.
Almost everyone, but
they're on
almost everyone, right, Slim?
Well, you know what?
Almost.
Yeah.
You know what? Zadarius Toney is actually on the line, so that's a good replacement for Aiden Hutchinson. So
there, I don't know. Is he the end? Well, anyways, yeah.
The Falcons were trash this week. I know we got lost to My Little Pony by 30 points.
Look, the Falcons are choking like they always do, and look, the Saints are coming back now. The Saints are making a turnaround.
Yeah, they are.
They lost to Blow Dicks.
Yeah, the only reason the Saints are looking good is because Tampa's got so many injuries and they just look better by default.
Yeah. Who else do they play? Who else does the Saints play coming up?
In the grand scheme of things, it doesn't matter. Nobody in the NFC South is going to make any noise in the playoffs. So
it's always that way. It's never been like since 2017. It's been like that.
Well, except for the year that a team from the NFC South won the Super Bowl.
Right.
Yeah. Right. But yeah, I my pick for the Super Bowl matchup is Lions and the Chiefs. That's what I'm going to stand by right now. But
I mean, that's the safe pick. I mean, they got the two best records in the NFL.
But look, and this is a true fact. Every time that Detroit plays in Arrowhead, I don't want to say every time, but most times they play at Arrowhead, they win. So
well,
I don't know. Tampa's good. I mean, we'll see what happens when they get Mike Evans back. Which supposedly he's gonna come back.
Good.
Well, first of all, Nate, the Lions won't be going to Arrowhead because they're in different conferences.
I'm just saying, like in general.
Yeah, well, that's irrelevant.
Yeah.
If they play in the Super Bowl, they won't be going to Arrowhead. They'll be going to New Orleans.
I know that. I know that.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. The Bucks might be good, but they still can't beat the Falcons. So.
I'm just saying, like in the regular season, if the Lions were playing the Chiefs in the late in season, even though they don't, but just saying, yeah.
The Bucks ain't been good since Tom Brady left.
What are you talking about? They were good last year.
Yeah, they were.
They were good. I guess.
In my opinion, they ain't won nothing. They ain't won nothing predominantly. They ain't won
9-8 is kind of good, but
yeah,
I mean, at least that's above 500. So.
At least it's not like 2-10 or 10-12. I don't know. Or something like that.
I just don't think, in my opinion, they're going to win a lot of games with the Bucks this year. I don't think.
When you lose your two top receivers, yes, it's going to hurt you. Of course.
That was a clean break on what's his face? Godwin. He broke his foot or leg clean.
No, he didn't. He dislocated his ankle.
Hey, Slim, what was Mike Evans' injury?
Hamstring.
Okay. He's been out for like what, 3 weeks?
They lost both of them in that same Monday night game against the Ravens.
I heard the worst bones.
Yes, so one of them is out for the season, right?
Mm-hmm.
Godwin is. Yeah, Godwin may never. He's a free agent at the end of the year, so he may never play for Tampa again. Depends on whether or not they try and keep him.
Well, that's another major injury he's just had before he played for Brady. That was another major injury. So I don't know if anybody wants him after that.
What other major injury?
He had a major injury before that.
Yeah, was it an ACL or something?
It was something. I don't know what it was, but it was a major injury.
Who did? Godwin? Godwin didn't have another major injury.
He had a major injury before that. Yes, he did. I don't know what it was, but it was something on his leg or something like that.
Not really.
I don't know what it was either, and I've watched Tampa every season, so that's news to me.
I have to do a quick commercial break right here, sponsored by the Pigskin Pete Show. Lenore Sellers, 1,800 yards, 14 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. Cade Klubnik, 2,500 yards, 26 touchdowns, and 4 interceptions. Thank you. Carry on.
Okay.
Yeah, that brings up a good point.
Like that? Come on now. Why are you raving about Clemson? They struggle Bucks win against Pitt.
They say anything about
that actually brings up a really good point. They were going through. I was watching, all throughout the day. They're talking about Heisman talk and all this. I get Miami was on a bye week, but how is Dylan Gabriel and Jalen Milroe somehow ahead of Cam Ward in the Heisman odds when he's got better numbers than both of them?
Yeah, they should not be. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think Jalen Milroe, he hasn't been consistent enough throughout the season to be a Heisman candidate. The only ones that have been has been Travis Hunter, Jador Sanders,
Shador Sanders has been out of that conversation for a long time, and Travis Hunter doesn't have Heisman numbers.
No, he
at
doesn't.
any position.
No.
Yeah.
No,
They'll still put him on. They'll still put him
Like,
on there.
I get people under 30 are amazed because they've never seen guys play two-way football before, but anybody over 30 is used to seeing it.
Plus, hold on. It doesn't matter it doesn't matter. He might be the best player in football. I'm talking about Hunter. But Slim's right. His stats aren't going to be anywhere close to the 3 or 4 guys ahead of him.
Man.
And that's what matters with the Heisman. It doesn't matter what you think.
Right.
But I still don't think. I don't know why Uncle Lou said that. You know, he said he hated when he said that Mildew should be fucking a Heisman candidate, but that would be his fifth pick. And I'm like, damn, you would still pick him at 5th? I'm like,
well, I mean, in one category, he's up there. He's got like 1 or 2 less touchdowns than Cam Ward.
Yeah.
So,
damn.
At least in one category, he's up there.
Yeah, Mildew's having a good season.
Yeah, what about Jackson Dart?
Jackson Dart, yeah.
I mean, I don't think he'll win it.
There's a chance, but I don't think he'll win it.
No, I don't think so.
It's either going to be Gabriel, Genty, or Ward. That's my 3 predictions. One of those 3.
I think Genty definitely should be in the conversation. I don't think he has a chance of winning it only because he plays for Boise.
Maybe.
I don't see them giving it to a group of 5 player.
Yeah, he'll get an invite, but
I mean, Marshall Faulk should have won it, but they gave it to Gino Torretta instead because Marshall Faulk.
Yeah, that's a different time though. Things are different now.
Gino, Gino.
Yes, and they've still never given it to a group of 5 player.
Yeah. I don't know. I think he has a chance, but I think you're right. It's probably more likely Ward or Gabriel, if I had to guess.
I don't do that.
And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying he doesn't deserve it. I think he does, just like I think Marshall Faulk did, but I think playing for Boise is what's going to kill it for him.
Yeah, who is Gino Torretta?
Miami's quarterback in '91 that won the Heisman.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Where do you think Georgia will be in the rankings tomorrow?
What?
I don't care.
Pete.
What were they last week?
12.
Probably move up to like 7 or 8.
Yeah, I hope so. I think this gets Tennessee out of the playoffs. This knocks them out.
I mean, they might move them at like 14 or 13 for Tennessee because.
I also think they're going to lose to Vanderbilt.
That's probably possible.
Because you see what Vanderbilt did to Alabama, and you see how Volunteers struggle on the road. I mean, the only luck they had was against Oklahoma, and we see how bad Oklahoma was.
Well, yeah, Vanderbilt definitely has a chance to beat Tennessee. I mean, more chance than they normally have.
I believe, in my opinion, I think Vandy will beat Tennessee.
Well, hey, if you really think that, there's going to be a money line bet you can make some money on.
Yeah. I think they're going to beat Tennessee. I don't know about what it's going to be. I just think they'll beat them. I don't know the score. I think because they struggle on the road, and Vanderbilt has a very good quarterback, and what's his face, Nico, the one that wears the dresses and stuff. He's not a good quarterback. He's lacked expectations from what Tennessee fans have, and I never thought he was a good quarterback to begin with.
Well, he's played terrible this year, but what's the status of Nico? Does anybody know? I know he was in concussion protocol. Then he got hit at the end of the game in Georgia. Is he playing this week?
We fucked him up. I heard we fucked him up. I didn't see the end of the game, but yeah, I heard somebody bashed his head in.
Yeah, he looked a little wobbly. Yeah,
like a stick. I'm just kidding.
They tried to.
I mean, listen, Nico's not a bad quarterback. Nobody would have lived up to the expectations of that fan base.
Yeah, right. On him. I agree.
They're trying to replace him with Hendon. They think they can get somebody like Hendon Hooker again. That's not going to happen. There's nobody that can replace him like Hendon Hooker. I'm sorry. Well,
Nico's upside is higher than Hendon Hooker's.
Yeah, I think so too.
Well, I'm sorry. They struggle on the road. That's the whole problem with Heupel. And they always struggle on the road. It don't matter where they play for the last 3 years or whatever he's been coaching. They cannot win a road game.
To your point, Pete, you talked about, Vanderbilt's got as good a shot as any time. I mean, before Heupel, for the 10 years before Josh Heupel, Tennessee had a 500 record against Vanderbilt.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's true. And that was when Vanderbilt was, a 2-win team.
Yeah, right.
I feel ashamed.
You should be ashamed for playing video games while you're on the Pigskin Pete midday show.
Well, I was going to say, I feel ashamed that Vanderbilt has a better record than Michigan.
Why do you feel ashamed? Are you not a Tennessee or a Vanderbilt fan?
I know I'm saying facts, though.
What you said was you were... Never mind. Just forget about it.
Yeah.
What are you playing?
Madden.
You're not even playing college football 25? Come on now.
Man, there was a delay there. Are you sure you're playing Madden? Are you on the site playing a game?
Look, I mean, I'm playing my career mode. I'm stuck on this fucking stinky ass team. This team.
The Panthers? Oh, you just suck then.
I know, right? I'm the best player on my fucking team.
Well, that's sad. Then if you're losing to the Panthers and you're the best player on the team, you might need to look in the mirror.
I'm a halfback, so yeah, I can carry my team.
But I do think South Carolina, if they wouldn't have lost to LSU, they probably would be in the playoffs right now.
Yeah.
Well,
and look how bad LSU looks now. Fuck, they look terrible. Well, they never should have won. They never should have won South Carolina. What's the other game they never should have won? What other game they came close to? I'm missing one. I know I am. What other game they came close to? They lost. They barely won. There's
Alabama.
One. Yeah.
No, they got blown out by Alabama.
No. They lost. They barely won.
Game they barely won.
Ole Miss.
Oh, yeah.
They barely won against Ole Miss. They should have lost that game. But they kept fighting in there. They kept fighting.
Well,
they should have lost that game.
Yeah.
I don't know if you say they should have lost. They should have lost to South Carolina. I don't know about Ole Miss, though. I mean, there was really nothing controversial in that game.
I just don't think they're as good as their record says they are.
Well, what are they?
I think Brian Kelly should be in the hot seat by next year. Look, it's like Uncle Lou said. There's good coaches like Mark Richt, and sometimes you lose your job because of that. That's true.
That is true.
Hold on. You said they aren't as good as their record. What are they? A 3-loss team?
Probably.
They lost to Alabama. They lost to Florida. They lost to Southern Cal. They lost to Ole Miss. No. Who's the other team they lost to?
Florida.
Bama.
Alabama, Florida, USC, somebody else.
Who's the other one?
That's it.
Anyway, I just think, in my opinion, that he's going to lose his job for a lot of outside, media, a lot of inside stuff going on. And even though he might be a good coach because of his past history at Notre Dame and some of the past winning records he's had at LSU so far, I think it's not going to save him because, LSU prides himself on championships because in recent years they've had championships dating back to 2019, and they want to go back to that. They've even 2022 or 2021 they've been to a SEC championship. They've been to multiple SEC title games.
I don't doubt that they're looking for a reason to get rid of him. But how much is his buyout?
Yeah, it's true, but I mean,
$50 million.
Tons of money off of these stadium games and shit like that. Well,
yeah, but there's a difference between $18 or $20 million buyout and a $50 million buyout or higher.
Yeah.
So.
Why does it just not look good for him? It just doesn't.
I don't understand why anybody would even be talking about firing him. That's just dumb as hell.
$60 million buyout. He's not getting fired.
Like I said, he's a good coach, but the situation he's in, for LSU, their organization usually has winning records. And lately,
listen. Just because people in the fan base are screaming that somebody needs to be fired, doesn't mean that the administration is even considering.
Right.
It doesn't mean that the fans are in charge. The athletic director and
I still can't believe Napier. They kept his old sorry ass. I'm glad they did because it helps out people like Georgia, Alabama.
That's bullshit. Like I said preseason, if Napier makes a bowl game, he deserves Coach of the Year.
I mean, he kind of had a point actually. But
this is a team people were hollering all offseason is going to win 2, 3, maybe 4 games if they're lucky. They're fixing to make a bowl game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who else they play?
Well, they're going to beat Florida State.
What's their next game? Besides that.
They play. I was talking about that earlier. Who was it? they play this week. It's
in the swamp. Is it Ole Miss?
Yeah, Ole Miss.
Oh, they're
Ole Miss in the swamp.
They're fucking losing that game. I don't care what you say.
I don't know, man. Florida's a 10-point underdog at home against Ole Miss.
Ole Miss lost to Kentucky.
What?
Yeah. Ole Miss also beat Georgia. So.
Yeah.
So yes, that's absolutely a winnable game, and they're probably going to beat Florida State. So if they go 2-0 the next 2 weeks, they went 7-5. Billy Napier deserves Coach of the Year.
I'll be pulling for Florida because I want them to lose because that'll help Georgia. But I don't see Florida beating Ole Miss because they are stacked defensively.
Hey, Florida gave Georgia all they could handle, though, didn't they?
They did.
Yeah, they're a fucking good team, I think, in my opinion.
Hold on now.
Why would you say they're dumb for keeping Billy Napier?
They're a good team, but they need to fire Billy Napier.
I didn't say
contradicting yourself.
I'm talking about Ole Miss.
What? Oh, okay. Billy Napier does not coach Ole Miss. You're talking about Billy Napier.
I'm talking about Ole Miss. Not talking about.
You were talking about Billy Napier. Does he coach Ole Miss?
Yeah, we're talking about Billy Napier. Yes.
Well, I was switching over to Ole Miss.
I'm more confused than the two.
I don't know what he's saying.
I was saying that Ole Miss is not losing to Florida. That's what I was saying. That's
in Florida because they're a good team.
I don't see Ole Miss losing to Florida. Now they could, but I don't see it happening. They're just too good of a team.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Florida's playing. This is not the same team that we saw the first half of the season. They're playing a lot better right now.
Right. I think that the difference is that LSU was just coming off of that blowout loss to Alabama.
Why does that matter?
Being eliminated.
I don't know.
Listen, LSU has got a good team. What is his name? Nussbus. He's thrown 12 interceptions.
Whereas Ole Miss still has everything in front of them. LSU did not. That's the difference.
LSU can't run the ball. LSU has a quarterback that throws 12, 13 interceptions. They can't run. All they can do is
that makes him pretty much just as bad as Carson Beck.
Well, he had the best game of his life. He had the best game of his life Saturday.
Damn. Who has more interceptions, Beck or Nussmeier?
Beck.
They both have 12.
Oh, okay. They both have 12. Okay, then.
Now look, okay, realistically, I think if we're all going to pick who's going to win against Ole Miss and Florida, almost all of us are going to pick Ole Miss. Would anybody be surprised if Florida upset Ole Miss? No, I wouldn't.
No.
So it's not. That's not a crazy thought.
It's not crazy, but. Yeah.
And in my opinion, they finished 6-6, which they're pretty much guaranteed to do or better. Yes, it was the right call to keep Billy Napier. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. Turns out they made the right choice. Yeah, even though some Florida fans might not like it, but
didn't they just get a commit from a 4-star quarterback yesterday? Florida,
I think so.
I think they did.
Even though Celine wants Billy Napier fired, but
Celine wants Florida to lose so he gets fired. Yeah.
Well, no, he doesn't want Florida to lose, but
that's the only way Napier's getting fired is if they lose.
Yes, but Celine doesn't want Florida to lose, though.
But hold on. Yes, he does.
Wanting Florida to lose.
He wants them to lose because he wants Napier to get fired. If they win, then he won't get fired.
Yes, he wants Napier to get fired, but that doesn't mean that he wants Florida to.
Yes, it does.
Well, you can't take one without the other.
Yeah, right.
You want Napier fired, that means you want Florida to lose, so they'll fire him.
Yeah. I mean,
Where's Felicia?
Yeah.
Pete?
Yeah.
Where's Felicia?
I don't know.
In China.
No, why is he not on the chat?
Huh?
I don't know.
Why isn't he on StreamYard?
I don't know. What am I, his representative?
No, I was just asking.
Hey, you're Belusha's handler.
I'm the handler.
I don't know. I don't know what anybody's doing other than me, and I barely know that. So.
I was just curious.
Belusha's in an internment camp somewhere in Mongolia.
No, he wasn't. He was in a chat earlier. He said that he couldn't. He said he couldn't join. He was at his in-laws' house.
I must have missed it.
Not in Mongolia, but.
Yes, Mongolia is not China.
Yeah, Mongolia is not China. Yeah. So probably maybe an internment camp in Tibet. Yeah.
They sent him to a research facility in Wuhan.
Damn. That's it.
Who's all left on your schedule? Slim Shady.
What?
Who's all left on your schedule?
Wake Forest and Syracuse.
That might. Syracuse could probably get you. Syracuse might get you.
They might.
What?
Might grow on chicken's ass, though.
Are we talking about this schedule?
Huh?
At worst case scenario I see with Syracuse, that game gets into a shootout. Syracuse is not outscoring Miami.
Yeah, they did defensively because I haven't seen much of Syracuse play. I just don't watch them like that.
They are
for Wake. Well, we're supposed to have 2 corners back healthy finally for this Wake Forest game.
Syracuse is the most
defensively
inconsistent team in the ACC. Like if Syracuse goes out there and plays their best game, they could give Miami a game, but they could also get blown out by 30. Yeah. I mean, you just don't. The Syracuse is so unpredictable. Pittsburgh made Syracuse their bitch in front of God and everybody else, and then they went out last week on the road, a 10-point underdog to Cal, and destroyed Cal.
And a few weeks before that, got run out of their own building by Stanford.
Yeah, right. I don't know.
What's Stanford's record?
I don't know. They've won 2 ACC games. That's how bad they are, Stanford.
Yeah.
And both of those were on a last minute walk-off field goal. So, yeah.
Shout out to the trees. I got no hate for Stanford.
Yeah, the trees. Yeah, I don't hate Stanford either.
But Georgia's lost a lot of coordinators, and I think that's really hurt us. Our running back coordinator, our running back coach, our analyst who was a coach, a DC, now an analyst. I think that hurt us.
Well, that's but you're talking about virtually every team in the Power Four. I mean, so. Especially
coaches and coordinators too.
The more you win, the more coordinator changes you have because they leave to go take a head coaching job somewhere else.
I think it's Glenn Schumann, right? Isn't it Glenn Schumann?
Yeah. Guess what? Our offensive coordinator, as much as I like him, he's not going to be there next year. Looks like he's going to be the head coach of Rice.
See?
Yeah. We lose Glenn Schumann, even though he's not coaching no more. That's still, I think, is the reason why our defense ain't as good as it is. Because our defense, when Schumann was doing the coaching, was totally different from a year ago. It's totally different. Very dominant. We didn't have to rely as much on the offense because the defense was doing so much. And now we got that coordinator from Alabama. He's all right, but he ain't Glenn Schumann.
What are you talking about? Glenn Schumann is still your defensive coordinator. What are you talking about?
The analyst, whatever his name is, the analyst.
You talking about Will Muschamp?
Yeah, Will Muschamp. Yeah.
Listen, if your team falls apart because you lost an analyst, you got bigger problems.
Yeah, no kidding. Here's the argument I've been having. The argument I've been having with other Clemson fans over the past few weeks is my position is I think Wes Goodwin. I think that Clemson could do better than Wes Goodwin at defensive coordinator. Some of these other fans' position is that Garrett Riley's the problem. He's a bust. And I'm like, okay, so so the defense is barely ranked in the top 50 nationally. The offense is ranked. I don't know where they're at now. They're definitely in the top 15 or 20. Garrett Riley came into last year with a first year starting quarterback in Cade Klubnik and 0 wide receivers, because the 2 or 3 that were any good that they had didn't hardly played because they were injured. This year he comes in, he's got a quarterback in Cade Klubnik in his second year who's going to throw for over 3,000 yards probably and probably over 30 touchdowns and very few interceptions.
Yep. That's
a 1,000-yard rusher. Maffa's, 40-something yards away from hitting 1,000 yards, which he'll probably hit against the Citadel on his first touch. So tell me how terrible Clemson's offense is again. I don't know what these people are thinking.
I don't think your offense is terrible, but also Phil Maffa running the ball 8 times in the first half is damn near a fireable offense.
Against Georgia, you mean?
No, I think it was Louisville when that happened.
Oh, well, he only ran the ball 6 times against Georgia.
Yeah, it's just as much of a problem. Two things can be true at once. You're the play calling can be sus at times for the offense.
The play calling, I agree. I agree with that part of it, but every fan complains about play calling, including me. I'm putting myself in that category.
Well, listen, I've said the same thing. Fucking Miami's done that shit. They barely ran the ball in the first half, and I think that is a problem.
So Maffa
I don't think it's play calling with us. I think it's execution on offense. That's what it is. And we did a great job Saturday. We finally executed probably the best offensive game of the whole year.
Well, now you do want to talk about Jekyll and Hyde. You look at that Pitt game, y'all were very much Dr. Jekyll instead of Mr. Hyde.
Yeah, for Pitt, that was a struggle bus win. And that the only thing that saved y'all was the quarterback running the ball into the end zone. That was it. If that was
hilarious. That slow ass white boy outran that entire secondary. That was funny as fuck.
Slow ass white boy.
If that was any other top 5, top 20 defense, they would have stopped him. I'm telling you. And then they would have lost another game.
Well, I think a slow white boy is better than faster than the defense.
And in my stream this weekend, there was people in the chat. Of course, when Clemson started to lose the lead rapidly, and then when they did lose the lead, my stream quadrupled in viewers within a 5-minute period. But of course, they're all in there saying Cade Klubnik's trash, Cade Klubnik's trash. Then he busts off a 50-yard run to win the game, and then of course they disappeared like a fart in the wind.
Yeah.
That's the sign of a baller right there. I mean, he's down with less than 2 minutes left in the game, and he puts the team on his back, goes down there and wins it.
Oh, hey, I'm giving him his credit there. I'm giving him his flowers for that play. I sat there and watched it live. Thought it was hilarious.
Carson Beck did the same thing. He ran the ball in for a touchdown. I think it was 20, 30-something yards running in for a touchdown.
And now, granted, to your defense's credit, Pete, they got the stops when they absolutely had to in that game.
Yeah, listen, they had 8 sacks in the game. It's not like they weren't getting pressure on the quarterback. It's just they gave up too many big chunk plays in the passing game. The secondary was the problem in this game, not the front 7.
Yeah.
And
then I remember one drive in particular. This was third quarter, I think. I mean, Pitt was they were somewhere right around the 5, and then just got 3 penalties in a row.
Yeah, they got 3 offsides penalties in a row. No, that was when Clemson was on offense. Yeah, but
and you still couldn't convert.
They had.
So, I mean, it took Pitt shooting themselves in the foot also.
Yeah, they had 100 yards in penalties. Pitt did.
That's ridiculous.
That is ridiculous. And I'll give credit where credit's due to that quarterback for Pittsburgh. He really balled out in that game.
And that was a backup.
This is a guy who got sacked 8 times, and even when he wasn't sacked, was under pressure every play. He played a great game, that guy did.
He didn't get injured.
Yarnell, yeah.
Yeah. He's the backup.
His backup, whoever the fuck he is.
He should be the starter.
Yeah,
right.
He's a big guy too. He's like 6'6". He's not a runner, but
damn, he's my height.
Yeah, he's tall. I don't know his exact height, but he's either 6'6" or 6'7".
If he's 6'7", he's taller than me. But does he have an arm though?
Yeah, he's got a good arm. He's just not very mobile. I mean, he's not a runner, but he's a typical pro style quarterback. Yeah.
Yeah, that's my type. I can throw pretty good, but not mobile.
But I was impressed with him, the way that he evaded pressure and stepped up in the pocket. It looked there's not many quarterbacks, and most college quarterbacks, when they get under pressure, their immediate response is to roll out or run, like they panic. He didn't do that.
No. You know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking like, I think I told you about this, Pete, where I want to go to college and stuff. But the college that if I go to college, well, the first thing I'm gonna do class and stuff. But I'm probably gonna try out for the football team, even if I don't know.
Huh?
The college football team. I might.
You're gonna play college football?
Yeah.
For who?
College, yes. My targets are for college, either Mizzou or Arkansas.
Nate, listen to me. I love you, buddy. You're not playing football for Mizzou or Arkansas.
You never know. Well,
I do know. You're not. You're not playing Division I football.
He's trying to be a walk-on. Yeah.
Even as a walk-on.
What, in the video game?
No, in real life.
Oh my God, you're going to get killed.
Yeah, I think that might be a good place to call it a day.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Thank you for reminding me, Slim. I do have to go. It's past that time.
I think I would rather play for Sam Pittman than Eli Dorkwitz. But
yeah. All right. Well, I'm trying out for the Cowboys next week. Wish me luck.
Love y'all.
Yeah, Dion will be your head coach.
All right, Jarrett. Thank you for coming on.
Okay.
Have a good one, sir. Vic, too.
Okay, bye, Pete. Bye,
See you later, Pete. I mean, Vic.
All right. All right, Vic.
All right, Slim, buddy. Thanks for coming on, man. Talk to you later.
Yes, sir.
All right. All right. That's going to do it for me as well, guys. Thank you for tuning in to the Midday Show. I'll be live tonight at 10 p.m. with Uncle Lou for the Lunch Money Show. Of course, like every week, we'll tell you how to lose money and just do everything just pick against me. Fade me. Fade Pete. #FadePete. All right. See you guys. Have a great rest of your Monday.